Boom, boom. This is Ken. Everybody, welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Bleach Immortal Soul up today. So let's go ahead and we got a few things to cover, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Okay, first let's go ahead and address the monkey on everybody's back, and that is the Soul Box event. Now, I was unfortunate to not get the Soul Box event that would be beneficial to me. There, as you know, in my previous video there were two Soul Box banners that came up that the BizLeaks team managed to get their hands on. One was for Tinsa and Berrigan Soul Box, which would be greatly beneficial to me as I do need Tinsa's weapon, and it would have given me a chance to take him up to 6-star. But that one did not drop. Instead, my server ended up getting the Yourichi and Halibel Soul Box event, which you see right here. Now, let me preface this by saying that these are both excellent characters. Yourichi's a straight attacker, and she has a little bit of depth, so she has some survivability. I consider Yourichi to be basically Suifan on steroids. She does a lot of damage, especially with the Shunko attacks that she can get as the buff. Halibel is an excellent character in terms of support. She offers a lot more support than Yourichi does, but Yourichi is an attacker. So that's why attackers generally just attack. Halibel does offer a lot of support. So both of these are very, very good characters. And if you have any of them in your team, this is definitely a Soul Box event that you want to take advantage of. Is a chance to get their weapon. And of course, maybe kick them up a star or two, which is, what you need to do to progress through the game. So what am I going to do on this particular event? Well, I got a lot of questions about if I was going to pull on it, simply because everybody knew I was looking for the Tensa Sangetsu Berrigan event. So, and they asked me if I was going to pull on it. So let me go. I'll take you through how I determine whether or not it's something that you want to progress through and something that you want to waste a lot of Soul Jade on, considering, it's not a character. Neither of these characters are something that are prevalent in my team. I mean, I have both of them, but they're only both at 2 stars. We've got, let me see, we've got, right here is Halibel, she's at 2. And right here is Yourichi, she is at 2 as well. So the first thing I do when I'm going to determine if I want to pull on something is take a look at what they offer. Do they offer anything to my team? Is she going to be able to replace anything inside of my team that I currently have and make it better? Now, I can look at this and feel like I could probably get her up to 4-star, which is, of course, where you're going to need to get her if you want to actually begin utilizing her, because unless you can get up to the their passive, which is a sacrifice here, there's really no reason to put them in your team. Before that, they're simply not going to be able to last through any of the attacks. So she does have an excellent skill set, as I said. Okay, she higher than hit attack skill, so as the higher her hit points, the higher she's going to do in terms of damage. Deals damage to the enemy front row, and if the back row is in a character's damage is increased by 70, and she gains 20% to rage skill for each allied character that's in the team. Okay, and she resents her hit points, so she has survivability. And then her sacrifice is every time an allied character dies, Halibel generates 15 of her current and gains 300 rage. When Halibel, the damage reduction rate of all allies is increased for 2 rounds. So when she dies, she's going to offer support. Okay, which you'd hope she not die, but it happens. And getting a little damage reduction rate off of that is not bad. So she does offer some pretty good support, up to 6% there. So she's not a bad character. The problem for me with her is the fact that I don't have any of her bonds. I mean, I would of course get this one, this one, this one, and this one. I could grab these 4 fairly easy, but I don't have Toshi, and I don't have Aizen, so I would not be able to get the any of the bonds for her whatsoever. Now, in terms of Yourichi's an attacker. Okay, as I said, Suifan on steroids, but she also has a little bit of defense capability, which makes her have a little bit more survivability, which is why she's called Armored Yourichi, is because of the fact that she has the skill here, her passive. All attacks ignore 30% of target's death. Every time a Shunko Yourichi recovers, each attack reduces the target's damage rate. This effect can 3 times, so See, damage reduction rate increases. So she has survivability. Okay, so that makes her a pretty good attacker in terms of what you would have. Excellent place for her would be squad boss, who does a lot of damage. And having an attacker in squad boss is always, it's what you want to do is stack attackers. So, but also if you look at her, I've got all of her bonds. I'd be able to fill up all of her bonds. See, I get these extra attacks and the extra hit point benefits because I do have all of these characters. So, in terms of what that provides, it would be nicer. So, one other thing to consider is the soul haul. Now, I've maxed out my soul hauls on both of Azure Dragon, max level reached, and the Tiger is max level reached. So they're all maxed out. So Yourichi is not in any of the soul haul, but we do have Halibel inside of the soul haul. Not this one. Okay, that's Stark. Okay, see, but we do have Halibel inside of the I don't quite have the measurements for that one yet. Where's she at? I know she's in here. I saw her. If she was in here, did they change it? Is she first one in Genesis? There she is. So she's in the White Tiger Genesis, so I've already got this maxed out. So if I were to enter her into my team, I would be able to get a little bit of damage rate of all allies increases by 4% to a maximum of 6 stacks. It's already maxed, so I would just have to insert Halibel into the lineup in place of one of the other Tigers. And I'd be able to get the buff for her. So it has benefit from there, but as I said before, I don't have any of the bonds for her. So there's really no use focusing on her since I don't have any bonds. And it's going to be a while before I get eyes, and God knows when there's going to be another Toshi event coming out. I still do regret getting Toshi, unable to get Toshi, but I couldn't get Toshi because I just done an event before that when Toshi came out, so I didn't have enough Soul Jade to actually pull on him. That was back towards, he's an original character, so he was one of the first new UR characters they came out with, so I did not have enough at that time to get him, so I didn't pick him. So neither of these characters, even though Armored Yourichi would probably be beneficial in Squad Boss, it's just not enough. The fact of the matter is the match just, when you get as high up in the levels as I have, you just don't have enough to actually focus on a number of UR characters. So I'm really just going to focus on my team. Okay, hopefully we'll get this Tensa, and I'll be able to get Tensa's weapon, because I mean he's my strongest attacker, and I still don't have his weapon. So that's where it's at. So, but if you look at this, if you just see, I'll show you here what we're going up here. See, just taking one weapon up is 817. Okay. But you still got to upgrade it. So as you can see right there, it's well over 2 million. So there's no, there's just not going to be enough. The time it would take to invest in her, bring her up, get her up to where she's usable, I just don't have the mats and the gold to do it at this point in time. I mean, I can get the mats, of course. Mats, you just run stamina. But no, I'm just going to focus on my team. So, but yeah, I do say these are excellent characters. If either of these, if you're using any of these in your team, you definitely want to draw on this because it's worth it. Okay, it's a chance to get their weapon. But I'm just going to hold on to the Soul Jade because I pretty much take, if you're going to do it, you need to do it. You might as well just do it all the way. Get the weapon, get as many shards as you can, and just pull as long as you can. But that's going to pretty much non-existent Soul Jade by the time that's finished. I do have enough to get the weapon for either one, and probably take him up twice. I can probably take him up to 4-star. Okay, but just not something I can do. So that's how I do my termination. I mean, the most important thing for me is Are they going to help my team? Okay, my team's progressing through pretty good. I haven't really had any trouble whatsoever. I just blew through those elite stages on the last video, so I didn't have any trouble whatsoever doing those. We're going to do the story mode here within the next day or two. I'm just going to get all the weapons. Once I get all the weapons at Prism 2, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. I'll do a video on that, and we'll go through to see. Once you clear the elite stages up to 125, I believe it is. Yeah, 125. You'll be able to 2-star everything, weapon-wise, item-wise, armor-wise. You'll be able to do all those, tomb, everything. You'll be able to get them up to Prism 2. So basically, once you get up to 125 in the elite stages, you'll have characters at Prism 2, all their weapons and items at Prism 2, and you should be able to complete 25. That's the way it looks. We'll find out here in a day or two. So, but that's where I'm at right now. I'm not going to go Prism 2 on all the equipment because it would take, it's going to take several weeks for me to get to that, just simply because of how much it costs to do each item. But I'm going to get all the weapons up, and then we'll do it. I've got pretty much all the weapons except for a handful of them. I think it's like 1 or 2. Okay, so I do have 2 on him, 2 on his weapon, 2, 2, 2. So I just need to do 1 more. And that is, of course, I'll do that tomorrow when I have enough gold. And we'll go from there. All right, so in terms of characters, I do have enough. I'm going to go ahead and promote him up to damage increase, skill. So let's see how far I can take this up. This is a damage increase, so it's something you definitely want to do. Yeah, I have enough to take it up. Nope, came up a little short, but I'll be able to get it tomorrow. So now we have the entire team is where it needs to be. So we've got everybody up to a minimum of 5. Okay. So this is the main team right here, all at 5-star, and some at 6-star. These 2 are at 6-star. I wanted to get tents up to 6-star, but well, hopefully that event will roll around again, and when it does, we will actually participate in it. That's the Tensa American event. I guess from what I'm hearing, apparently it was one of the newer servers that they were releasing that ended up getting an event. I don't like when they do that. All new servers should have the standard events that everybody got when the game was initiated and the game was created to a certain point, and then they need to just blend them in with the rest of the actual group. Okay, that you should be having different soulbox banner events for different servers after the initial launch. It's just not something that's, you know, it mismanages the entire game, allowing some servers who are going to have some of the newer, stronger characters to be able to progress much faster than the other servers did. That's not right. That's not fair. So I don't like the way they do that, but it is what it is. So you have to deal with it. But yeah, so like I say, if you're one of the unfortunate ones or fortunate ones, if you have Armored Yourichi or Halibel, Resurrection, then definitely want to pull on that because they are good characters. Okay, I do want to say that. Although neither of them benefit my team, they are excellent characters for any team. You know, a good attacker and a good team. She provides a little bit of support to the team, and that's what you want to look for. You of course want to have your attackers, but you also want to make sure that you do have people that support. Because as you get higher into the story mode level, you're going to need synergy between teams. If you're trying to throw all attackers or something like that, you're not going to get very far. You know, the devs are going to make sure that you progressing through with an all-attacker team is going to be difficult. So, you know, put some attackers on the back, maybe an attacker in the front center, but the other, you need to have some tanks and some teams that do some support. Healing is good. There's several good healers out there. Urahime is one, but if you should really be focusing on Unohana. She's the best healer in the game that you can obtain. I think the best healer in the game is, of course, the UR version of Urahime. But you have to understand, she is that's Christmas Urahime. And really, you know, so unless you want to spend shards, bringing her up, she's really not that useful in terms of what you'd have to spend, because you'd have to use you don't want to. I don't find putting a healer inside the main team is something that really needs to be done. Okay, just putting a healer inside of your guardian stance is what. So this is Christmas Orihime. She's got the best healing kit in the game. But like I say, you're gonna have to. Really, the only place you can get shards for her is, of course, Omni shards. But also during the events, anniversary events, Christmas events, they have shards. They usually throw up shards for her. So you can't obtain her. It just takes a little while to do it. So I'm just building her slow. Okay, I've got her at 3. Once I get her to 4, I'll then bring her up to full, and I'll replace Unohana as the guardian in my healer stance. That's basically what I'm planning on doing. Okay, see, this is my current stance. See, I have Unohana as 2nd. Okay, and so she does healing. She works good. It works good. In the elite stages, it's very useful. And in Battle Arena, it's very useful as well too, especially if I'm going up against somebody who has higher initiative. That means they go first, so I can rotate her into the front spot and put them in there like that. So it works out pretty well in terms of that. That's not my formation. That's my formation, please. That's not my Battle Arena formation. I'm not exactly sure. My Battle Arena formation is exactly like my Elite Mode formation, so I'm not exactly sure what that is. And when my Battle Arena comes up, I don't get this either, so I'm not sure what's up with that anyway. But yeah, so I have Unohana 2nd, and when I'm going up against someone with higher initiative, I'll roll her first, because they go first when they have higher initiative, so I get damage. She heals it back up, and then off we go. It's effective, usually keeps me in top 10, so I have no problem with it. Yeah, so good event. It's definitely an event that you want to pull on if you have either of those characters. That'll be beneficial to your team. But for me, it's just not quite in the stars. As the gold quantity and the gold and the mat, getting the mats. You got to build them up slowly over time. It's just not productive for me to do that. I'm going to continue to focus on my team. Plus, I'm hoping that since they do have that Soul Box event out there for Tensa and Baron, we will, of course, eventually get it. I'm just not sure when that will be. Maybe it'll be the next Soul Box event that comes up for our server. That's possible. So maybe here in a month or two, we'll end up getting it. So I'm going to hold on to my Soul Jade at this time. There's a new character coming out too called Kazushini. Something you might want to look at. I'm of course going to look at him as well too. But like I said, I'll probably pull on that just to get him. But I'm not going to invest in him anything at this point unless he's like really something that can help out my team. Based on we haven't had a chance to see his skill set, we should probably see him pop up in the character screen probably over the next few days, indicating that his event will be coming pretty soon. Let me see if he's in there today. No, do not see him as of yet. So, but you'll probably see him pop into the screen. You'll see him down here most likely a day or two after the Soul Box event ends, as when we'll most likely see him drop. Might be something, but yeah, I'm probably going to do a little bit of Soul Jade on him just to get him to 2, get him to 2-star, which is what a base will be. You only need 30, so that's only like I think 5 pulls. You do 5 pulls, and then you can get the reward from within the actual reward right here. You get some more shards for him. So I think you can get by with 5 pulls, and then you'll be able to get the character. And then at some time in the future when they have a Soul Box event or something for him, if he's one of the characters that you want, then you of course build him up at that time. Not something but that's probably as far as I'll go. So yeah, I'm not going to pull on the event. I did give it a lot of thought. I was really considering Army. I debated that. It's the reason I didn't do this video yesterday is because I was just debating whether or not I wanted to do her, because she's very tempting. Because I do like Yourichi as a character, and I'm glad that they actually introduced her. And she does have some damage capability that would greatly affect Soul Boss. You know, because you know that's you know, the squad boss is just extremely you know, attacker heavy. I go armed with all attackers, you know, and she would definitely benefit in that because she's a single damage attacker. Anytime you got an attacker that is a single damage attacker, they do a lot of damage to one target. So squad boss is one target, so it's going to do a lot of damage to him. So that would be nice. Also, it'd be helpful in the events, you know, the Eisen event that comes up, Karakura Town, Defend Karakura Town event, which is again against one character, Eisen, blue. So both the squad boss and Eisen are blue. So red beats blue, or red has the advantage over blue. Blue has the advantage over orange. Orange has the advantage over red. Which is the way the damage triangle works in this game. So anytime you're going up against something blue, you want to come up with reds just to get the damage modifier. So both squad boss and Defend Karakura Town are blue. So having reds is imperative. You know, I do have a full red team. What I run in squad boss is I basically run the standard team, but I take out Zazapro simply because survivability is no longer an issue. At 2 Prism, you should be able to survive the squad boss all the way through 10 moves. You shouldn't have any trouble if you're at 2 Prism, and I am. So I don't really need him for survivability. So I just take him out and I put in Ichigo just for damage because I got all of his weapons and stuff. So he does pretty good damage, and I do keep Okura B2 in there. So he's the only non attacker based character that I have in there, even though he's blue. He's still attacker, okay, but yeah, he gives me a little bit of shield on the front. So you know, Ichigo is like right on the border. I find out if I don't put Core 2 in there for his shield, sometimes like on 9 or 10, Ichigo might die. Just depends on how often the squad boss rages. But with Core in there, he never dies because it gives you that 2 hits for the shield that he gives before it starts to affect him. So that's enough to keep him surviving. So he never dies. I've been doing okay. I do between 65 and 70 million. So that's not bad, you know. That's about where I want to be. And I think that's about where I should be. It increases, of course, as you increase your characters. So yeah, so that's it. So good event. If either of these characters are in your team, or if you're considering using them in your team, definitely want to pull on them because they are excellent characters. And we're going to have a video here in a few days, and we'll go through story mode 25 because it is open now. I do have access to it, and I will be able to progress through it. But we'll do that. We'll do that together, and I'll do a video on it just to show what's up and what's going to be advancing. We're of course going to continue through the story, and they're going to continue along as they always do. Okay, so but I will have a video on that, and we will go through, and we'll see how we go through and see if it's something that we complete. Hopefully, if they've got everything pretty much waved down, which I'm pretty sure that they do, we should be able to progress through this fairly easy. Like I say, right now my weapons are just 1. Okay, so the weapons are Prism 2. Everything else is Prism 1. So as you can see, shouldn't have any trouble. This is the first one. Should not have any trouble with this one at all. I mean, still got my shields. So having your characters are Prism 2, do the weapons for a little bit extra damage, and you shouldn't have any trouble going through this. As you can see, this stage is going to be pretty easy. Yeah. So yeah. So all right. So thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Once you've subscribed, you'll see a bell. Click on that bell to be notified each time I do drop a video. Also, remember to subscribe to the channel. Like and share the video. Also helps immensely because that does rack up the views a little bit. All right. So thanks a lot for watching. This is Kenra coming at you from the corner, signing out.